Hey, good morning, everybody.
Hey.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning. I'm Charlie.
Welcome to first grade math. All right. We're going to solve a series of equations today by graphing. Which words in there do you guys not know what they mean yet? Everybody knows what graphing, but what in there do we not know? Tully.
System.
System. We don't know what a system of linear equations is. Well, of linear equations, from now on, guys, we're just going to, the short way to say that is just call it a system. Everybody say system. From now on, a system is a system of linear equations. So we don't know the whole thing. Thumbs up? Okay. We're going to say a system is 2, and then in parentheses, guys, right? So usually, I don't think you'll see more than 2. For your could be more, though. 2 or more linear on same graph. Okay? All right, you guys all have 2 arms. Everybody put your arms up in the air like 2 lines and intersect them.
Oh.
Don't make them parallel. Intersect them. You're going to graph 2. You're going to graph 2 lines on the same coordinate system. All right? We're not going to answer this next question yet until you guys do it. But our goal is to figure out what the solution is, or what the answer is, and we'll write those words in there. I think some of you guys already know what that is. But we're not going to answer it yet. All right. Look at example 1. Solve each system by graphing. Okay? Does everybody agree that you have 2 linear equations there? Okay? Everybody graph both of these on that graph over there. Okay? And they're in slope-intercept. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to write the slope intercept for B for both, and then I'm going to graph them. Scotty, what's the... Look at your page. Slope is -2. What's the y-intercept? -3. That's the point 0, -3. So graph the first line, guys, and you've got to use a straight edge. Let's go, Scotty. Slope of -2. I'm going to go up 2 and over 1. Up 2 and over 1. Okay. Use a straight edge. All right, how many people got a line that looks like that for the first one? Okay. Goes through the point 0, -3. That's got a slope of -2. Okay. All right, I'm going to do the other line now on the same graph. Okay. Zuli, give me the slope and the y-intercept.
M equals -2, and B is 5.
The slope is not equal to -2. I don't know what you're looking at.
Oh, no, just 2.
Just 2. There's no negative sign in front of there. And B is 5. Okay? Graph that one on the same graph. Watch what happens. Slope is, or excuse me, the
It's
B
like
intercept.
magic.
B is 5. 0, 5 is the y-intercept. And a slope of 2. Well, there's no more graph. I'm going to go down and left instead of boom. Boom. Very important right there. Okay. Let's graph our line. How many people got something like that? Gibbs question?
Will they always intersect?
For tonight, yes. But show me with your arms 2 lines that never intersect, Gibbs. What are those 2 lines considered? Parallel. Parallel. As long as they're not parallel, they will intersect. Good, great question. Okay? Now, here's my question. What's the answer? What's the answer to the question?
You mean the solution?
The solution.
One next.
Sean Kelly. look at -2, 1 is the solution. Guys, a great thing that you can do right now when you're solving systems and you graph them, circle where they intersect. And that is the solution, but you do have to write it down. -2, 1. That's the solution. Okay? So, what you're doing tonight, guys, is kind of a sneaky way to have you guys do 2 problems at once. You're just graphing 2 lines, looking for where they intersect. Okay? So, can anybody fill in? And I purposely put 4 blanks up there. See if you can fill in the words. The solution to a system is the point of intersection. Of the 2 linear equations. The solution is the point where they intersect. Okay? Guys, you need straight edges because that'll make your lines really, really obviously straight, but you know,
Does
you'll
that
see.
mean if I plugged in those x and y into the linear equation, it would make it true?
Make it true. I think we've talked enough about that this year.
Right.
These
In the
guys.
book, they tell you how you're supposed to check each solution. We haven't been making you do that.
Well, I don't think they've ever found a point. You know?
Right, but even when they graphed a line, you should be able to stick in
Right.
an ordered pair to see if it's true, right?
Right. And there's an infinite amount of them.
Right.
Okay? So, guys, what Ms. McCall's saying, this is the only point in the world that works into both equations. Okay? If you plug -2, 1 into that first equation and into the second one, it would be true. -2 times -2 is 4. 4 minus 3 is 1. Y would be 1. And then 2 times -2 is -4, plus 5, again, is 1. So that one doesn't work. Okay? All right, try that second one. Give it a shot. Jot down the slope and the y-intercept. Graph them using your straight edges. Find out where they intersect. Charlie Smith, what's the slope of that first line?
F equals 2,
B,
0.
0.
So you start right in the middle.
Hey, the first line goes through the
Origin.
origin. Very good. So I'm going to do the first one in green. It's got a slope of 2 over 1. We'll go up 2 and over 1, up 2 and over 1, or down 2 and left 1. Okay? There's that first line. Do the next one in blue. Cholet, what's the slope of that second line? 1/2. Excellent. What's the B or the y-intercept? 3. Guys, it's so important to jot that information down, just as simply as I did right there. So now we're going to graph it. 3. And then slope of 1/2 means up 1 over 2. Boom. You always look for when that second line jumps on top of the first line you did. Get a couple more points. What quadrant is the solution located? What quadrant is that, people? Zuli?
Second one.
I don't think that's the second one. Oh, you think it starts here, it goes 1, 2. It doesn't go like that. Start this 1, then it works counterclockwise. 1, 2, 3, 4. So it's in quadrant 1. And Cholet, what is that point?
It's 4, 2, 4, 2.
Well, you got to put your x first, remember? We go, for a point, we go x first and then y. It's not slope. Exactly, 2, 4. Everybody put 2, 4 into both equations and make sure it works. What's 2 times 2? 4. Y is 4, so it works. What's half of 2? What's half of 2? Not 1/2. What's half of 2? 1. What's 1 plus 3? 4. It works. Get it? Make sure you guys check it. All right. So far, so good. How could they make this tricky, though?
By taking the X and putting it in front.
Or making them in standard form. Because I think graphing using X and Y intercepts is a little bit tricky for you guys. All right, jump to the back. All right, we got 2 lines that are in standard form. Okay? So this is where you're going to find your X and Y intercept. I'm going to do the first line in blue here. Okay? This is where we take Y being 0, plug it in. So X minus 2 times 0 equals -8. X equals -8. We don't have to divide both sides by anything. When Y is 0, X is -8. There's the X-intercept. Now, start all over. Take 0, plug it in for X. So 0 minus 2Y equals -8. -2Y equals -8. Divide both sides by -2.
Negative. Oh, it's 2 negatives. Yeah.
Y equals 4. Okay, there's your Y-intercept. So just for that equation, guys, we get a graph -8, 0. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 units to the left of the origin there. And then 0, 4. And we're going to graph that one using our X and Y intercepts. Okay, use your straight edge. Get it graphed. Make your lines long, because you don't know where that other line's going to hit it. The longer you make it, the better chance you have of covering all your options. Now, the second one's a little bit tricky, but we can still do it. 0, 0. Both equations were in standard form, so we want to use those X and Y intercepts when they're in standard form. 2x plus 0 equals -1. 2x equals -1. This one, guys, did not work out to a nice even integer. But that's okay. We know where -1/2 is at. So the X-intercept is -1/2 comma 0. Now we start all over. We're going to put 0 in for X. 2 times 0 plus Y equals -1. Gone. Y equals -1. That was pretty easy to solve for. That's the other line. Let's do that one in green. -1/2, 0 is going to be located, guys, about right there. In between 0 and -1. And then 0, -1 is 1 unit down. You've got to be real careful with your straight edge here. Okay? Did you guys line up like that, guys? This point? What do you guys think? So, somebody rattle off that point for us. Give us the coordinates of that point.
So does it have to be another dot? It just has to
I think if you did it real, my lines aren't too straight because I can't use a straight edge up here. If you use your straight edge, guys, it should be right on that point. I made it work out evenly. Riley, what point is that?
2, 3.
How about -2 comma 3? Right?
Yeah.
Because the x value is -2. -2 comma 3. And take the time, guys, to check it into both points. -2 minus 6 should equal -8. Putting the -2 in for the x, 3 in for 2 times 3 is 6, so -2 minus 6 equals -8. It checks there. Plug it into the other one. -4 plus 3 should equal -1. And it does. That makes -1. So it checks into both of them. That's the solution to this system. But they're in standard form, guys. There's a lot of work.
I'm confused. I didn't get it on the point.
Well, the 2 points that I did not do a very good job of going through were the x and the y intercepts, and then I just circled the point where they intercept. There's a bazillion points on this line, Jim.
Right, but I think they were used to doing the slope so they could get multiple points.
Right.
Here, you just have to trust that your 2 intercepts help you
Mine
create
is
that
even,
line.
mine is even close to
Right. Say again, Chuck.
I'm not really.
Where's your straight edge? Okay. No, there's no slope. You just line up the thing. Yeah, that's how you do it. Graph with using x and y intercepts. Guys, we're not doing anything with slope here because we're finding the x and y intercepts. This is the other way that we figured out how to graph. Okay. All right. Last problem. Guys, you're going to probably have to. No, tonight they don't have any word problems, so we're good. We're good to go. All right. Creative Crafts gives scrapbooking lessons for $15 per hour plus a $10 supply charge. The other company, Scrapbooks Incorporated, gives lessons for $20 per hour with no additional charges. Write and solve a system of equations that represents the situation and then interpret what the solution means. All right, so we're going to write these in slope-intercept form. So y is going to equal the total cost / charge. It's always y equals. So the total amount is going to be there on the left. What does x represent? Not the swell. X is not going to be the slope. The number in front of x is going to be the slope. Soleil? Hours. Very good. How many hours? Okay. So what does Creative Crafts charge? Read that first sentence again, guys. What is Creative? Tully?
$15 per hour plus a $10 supply charge.
Can anybody write that expression using the x? Go ahead, Sarah.
Y equals 15x plus 10.
Y equals
Awesome.
15x plus 10. $15 per hour plus $10 just to walk in the door. So the total cost, y, is going to equal 15x plus 20. Read about what Scrapbooks Incorporated charges. See if you can write that equation. What's the total cost for Scrapbooks Incorporated? You can do this, people. Moss?
They charge $20 per, $20 per hour, so the y equals 20x.
Done. No additional charges, so we're not going to add anything to it. So this one, guys, goes through the origin. Okay? This one doesn't. Now we're going to graph both of them and we gave you a nice graph with the intervals and everything already labeled. Okay? Let's do this. All right, let's do the first one. Miss Antoinette, what's the slope of that first line?
15,
Y-intercept?
10.
Excellent. Graph that. Okay, a y-intercept of 10. Okay, we're only in quadrant 1 right now, people. We're only talking about positive values. Okay, so right on the y-axis on the left side there, we're going to put a point at 10, and it's got a slope of 15. So you got to be careful when you count. These go by 10s. So watch how I do this. I'm going to go 10, and I'm going to go halfway up the next one, and then over 1. That's a slope of 15. You got to count. 10, 5 more, over 1. Now I'm going to go up 15 more, which which would be at 40 and over 1. And then I'm going to go up 15 more and over 1. So 15 for the cost is really 1.5 boxes. 15 for the total cost is like 1.5 boxes. Do that a couple more times. Okay? Use your straight edge, guys. Very important. Wish I could do it. I wish I could use the straight edge up here to make my lines as good as yours. There's the creative crafts line. All right, let's do the other one in red. Miss Nika, what's the slope of that second line?
20,
What's the y-intercept?
0.
Nice. Don't be scared or intimidated, guys, when there's nothing there. The y-intercept is 0. It's not a big deal. Let's do this now. Does everybody agree that that second line goes through the origin?
Yep. Yes.
Bottom left. And then it's got a slope of 20. So I'm going to go up 20 and over 1. Up 20, over 1. Up 20. Boom! Guys, you'll love it when it lands right on the second line lands right on the first line. That's what you're trying to find. Up 20, over 1. I'm going to do it a little bit more. Okay, use your straight edge. So they're kind of close to each other, but there's clearly a point of intersection there. Okay, circle that point of intersection, guys. Seraldi, what is that point?
2,
Excellent. 2, 40. Now the hard part. Somebody explain what that point means.
That's the point where the two lines intersect.
No. Based on this problem, what does that point mean? Oh, this ought to be interesting. Sean Kelly? Okay.
$40 for 2 hours.
$40 for 2 hours. And what about the two companies? Can you say something intelligent about what that means for the two companies? Oh, they both get $40 for 2 hours. Very good. What were we going to say? Okay. How about, here's what I think. That's where they're the same price. Okay. For 2 hours. All right. So you might have, tonight you don't have any word problems, but just like the first 3.